What is up, Wicked Turtle Nation? We just wanted to let you guys know that Wicked Turtle Network has decided to join the RAZE Rebellion as brand ambassadors for RAZE Energy Drink. RAZE Energy gives you fresh, and that stands for focus, recovery, energy, stamina, and hydration. With zero sugar, absolutely no crash, electrolytes, and BCAA aminos. I encourage everyone listening or watching right now to raise up and join the RAZE Rebellion yourself by going to your local GNC, vitamin shop, or even online at repsports.com and order yourself some RAZE energy drinks or other athletic supplements in bulk. And when checking out, use the order code WICKEDTURTLE for a 15% discount. The website and order code will be in the description of this cast. Alright, hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Duke's Dive. I'm your host, the Duke of Disputation, and with me, my co-host, Coach Sean Calvin.
Yes, it is me, the notorious COACH, Coach Raff, Coach Sean Calvin, and I am ready to talk about some wrestling.
How's yeah, brother? So, how's everything going?
It's going good. You know, I've gotten over being sick. That's why we missed last week's episode. I had a nasty nasal infection, man, like upper sinus infection. I'm still not 100%, but I could talk now. Like if we would have done this last week, I was supposed to do ours and then Maddie D's A Show podcast, and my voice literally sounded like this, so that wasn't gonna work.
Oh, like Marge's sister.
Yeah, that's like I sounded like Patty and Selma. It was awful.
I hate it. But then your freaking face is congested. It just.
Oh, I was a mess. I didn't have energy at all. I felt like garbage. I literally slept probably 13, 14 hours a day.
Yeah, I hear that, man.
It was an all week thing, but I'm good. Like I said, I'm excited to be back and to kind of get into some of the stuff with Backlash and
good
other
stuff.
goings on.
And then we got some stuff going on the weekend, up at the Steamtown Mall.
Yeah,
the Electric City Showdown. So,
that is exciting.
Absolutely. And we'll talk about that more towards the end. But just to start things off, I wanted to talk about Under Siege a little bit. We'll be talking about Under Siege and WrestleMania after Backlash. Is that what their Backlash or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, Backlash. We'll call it Backlash for the sake of it.
But yeah, I'm not going to go over the whole entire card of Under Siege, but I did want to go over Deonna Purrazzo and Taya Valkyrie had their rubber match. Taya retained the AAA Reyes de Reyes title, and another good one was Steve Macklin and Chris Sabin. Chris Sabin picked up the win on that one. Really, the best one on there for me was the X Division match. Shout out to Ace Austin from our area.
Yeah. So, Ace is great.
Yeah, it was just great to see those guys embody what I've known the X Division of. Well, for how many ever years I've been watching, probably since Barbed Wire Massacre. So I'm thinking maybe that was 2016, 2017.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Something like that with it was LAX and the Chris brothers. So that started me getting into that, watching Impact, because I was like, oh, I didn't know they were doing that kind of stuff. And then I started following more heavily with the Broken Hardy stuff. So. But yeah, those guys, that from what I understand, that's what the X Division is all about. And that was awesome, one-on-one too. Usually it's a multi-man with the X Division, so.
It sounded like a nice throwback to the kind of the old X Division where you'd have those style of matches with the one-on-one.
Yeah, just the straight up one-on-ones, yeah. But yeah, all in all, that was a very good show. That was not a main pay-per-view. That was for the Ultimate Insiders, and I did get that just the beginning of the month, or the end of last month, and that's already paid off. It's $5. I went through the YouTube membership option, which
Oh, nice.
I used to do the Impact Plus, but like the amount of apps that have that, or the amount of devices that have access
Yeah,
to the Impact Plus app, it's all helter skelter, and
it's not as
it's really bad.
it's not as on many platforms as the bigger some of the other companies.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they transform into a better app, but for me right now, um, and for a lot of other people too, if you don't watch or you don't have access to Impact Live weekly, it's like $5 a month is the ultimate tier. Or you could pay like $2 a month or whatever. I forget what that gets you, but it doesn't give you access to everything. But you get a big back catalog and then their monthly like sub events, but you don't get like Slammiversary or whatever. That's how they do it, but it's good for that because you get the weekly stuff too, right as it airs. So and no commercials too. So
that's a bonus.
Yeah, $25. So I just, like I said, it's every device has YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's just better for my brain app because it works better. It just yeah. And then like better with the payment options too, because YouTube just takes PayPal or whatever. I forget what I think you still have to do the card gimmick with Impact Plus, but yeah, I don't have anything written down for Backlash, but I was hoping that you'd take the charge on that. I do have the matches memorized, at least I think where the order they were in.
I think I've got the order down. I know. Oh man!
And there was nothing on the pre-show. There
was no
pre-show matches, right?
No pre-show, and I believe the show opened with Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah, definitely opened with Cody and Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes
and Rollins.
I know the exact order because this was a unique pay-per-view. This actually it was 6 matches, and this was the first time they've ever done this. They did the 3 Raw matches in a row, and then the 3 SmackDown matches in a row, which I thought was a nice touch. I kind of hope they stick to that format.
I thought it was a little shorter than usual, but I don't think every match, every pay-per-view needs to be that massive, thing.
For what was essentially a filler B pay-per-view, this was a solid show. We'll kind of just get into it. Like Cody and Seth was fantastic.
Oh my God, yeah, definitely.
It was better than their. Oh man, your dog is going nuts.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
Must be outside. It wouldn't be a podcast with us without the dog.
Yeah, mine's asleep on the floor. He's twitching. He's out. Cody.
Mine is actually out the window watching. So.
Yeah, but Cody and Seth was great. It was better than the WrestleMania match, which is impressive because that Mania match was fantastic.
Yeah, and they even went a notch more than that with this one, in my opinion. But yeah, it was crazy to see like we've talked about it before, just how like when Cody was at the end of his AEW run, the crowd was just like had enough. I'm sorry, but they had just had enough of him, and then he made the move over there, and they ate him up from the jump.
I think like Cody, with the AEW crowd, the AEW fan base, at least the arena attending fan base, is a little bit different than what attends a WWE show. It tends to be an older crowd, a mixture of like adult males and adult females. There's not a lot of like kids there. There's some, but there's not as many kids as you would see at a WWE show. And there's not as many like just casual, like kind of regular, like people who like, oh, hey, wrestling's in town, I'll go see it kind of people.
Yeah,
and,
right.
And I mean, AEW is a great fan base, super passionate, but like it's a completely different fan base. And I think they just Cody.
Right, it's like those super crowds, like you'll get it like in the UK or different. I can't remember off the top of my head where the hot crowds are right now, but you know what I mean. There's certain places where it's like it seemed like they wanted that like first. Now they're all going. I'm sorry. This is fucking. A nightmare.
That's all right. I mean, it's a podcast, you know. I don't know how many podcasts I listen to where you hear dogs or babies in the background.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there, you know, I mean, certain like Raw after Mania, they wanted like in certain towns because they knew there was that crowd was going to eat that stuff up. They're, you know, just walking to the ring, they're going to go nuts.
But I think, Cody, he is just connecting kind of better with the WWE fan base. Absolutely. They're not quite as I mean, the AEW fans also had a lot. They had a lot of Cody, and they had a lot of interesting choices with some of the things Cody would do in AEW.
Things started falling downhill after that match with what was his name? The boxer. Anthony
Ogogo.
Oh, Anthony Ogogo. Yep.
I think that and the match.
He even said that. I think he even said like, I think that's when fans started turning on me.
The match,
there must be somebody outside him.
Well, I think you got a delivery, man. That's a delivery bark or something. I don't know. I think the match with Malachi Black in AEW definitely didn't do Cody any favors either, because that crowd was super in the Malachi, and they just weren't really feeling Cody. I mean, honestly, he's thriving a lot better in WWE, and he's
all right. Hey, sorry about that.
Oh, no problem.
I got him settled down for now.
We'll pick it up at
right around that Malachi Cody Rhodes.
So I would say that the match with Cody Rhodes and Malachi Black definitely didn't do him any favors, because that crowd was super into Malachi and they were not feeling Cody. But honestly, since he's come back to WWE, I mean, everything's been connected. He feels like a star, so it's been a good run so far.
Yeah, absolutely. When then the whole thing with we'll jump in and out of Backlash and the fallout of it with Raw, and with his stuff with he faced Austin Theory for the United States title on the Raw after Backlash.
Yes,
and, they set up for Cody versus Rollins 3, which I think is really good. Going to be good because you don't always have to, like, with a third match or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't necessarily need to be like, they got one each on each other, or the guy, something like that.
I think that one's going to end up being a Hell in a Cell match, because that is the next show.
Is that the next one coming up?
Yeah, June 5th.
Okay. So what SummerSlam's probably like July?
I think so. August. Yeah. No, SummerSlam's in July this year. I believe it is the last Saturday in July.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Then we got one more.
Yeah, we have coming up is there's Hell in the Cell is the beginning of June. Money in the Bank is the end of June, and then SummerSlam is the end of July. So there's quite a few good shows on the horizon.
Yeah, for sure.
But Theory and Cody on Raw the next night. Yeah, that was a good one too.
Yeah. Theory's is the second official other opponent other than like Seth, other than the dark matches and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, and I mean, Theory starting to come into his own. I think him and Cody played really well off each other. I'm interested to see more of them. The next match we'll hop into it, because we're not going to talk about this one super long. Was Omos versus Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
This was what it was. I mean, who was expecting this to be anything more than what happened? It was,
I was watching something with AJ, and he was saying something about how, like, I forget, but that they wanted Omos in the ring, like right then and there, and where it's like a lot of the moves and stuff they were doing, he was teaching them right on the fly.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I think Omos, whatever. I mean, it's both. It's like he goes by Omos. Omos was originally named. Whatever. But
exactly. Yeah.
I think as an attraction, he's got a lot of potential because of like the sheer size and the power. I think putting him in long matches like this one does him a disservice because there's only so much he can do.
Yeah. Give him that Big Show run.
Yes.
The giant from WCW, whatever run, that real quick.
Yeah. Those quick, like, show, you kind of have to, like, the old Paul Heyman method where you have to accentuate the strengths and hide the negatives.
Right.
Which
I'm sure everybody wants that match with, Brock, Bobby, that's going to go, 15, 20 minutes.
Right. I think next week on Raw, they announced Omos versus Bobby Lashley in a steel cage match.
Yeah.
That may go better for Omos because with a cage match, it's a lot easier to hide some of those flaws because you could do cool things like chuck people into cages and do spots. Right. So that one might go a little better. For this match was fine as a bridge between the opener and the match after, but it was what it was. I don't think we need to dwell on it too much.
No.
And then after that, we had Edge versus
AJ Styles.
Yes, this was another good one.
Yeah, this is a match that you'd think is a dream match for sure.
Yeah, a fault. This was this was on par with the Mania match, and we discussed, I believe, like, I know we never discussed it on the podcast. I think about new members being added to Edge's group. We may have discussed it on our own, but
you and I have discussed it. I don't think we discussed it on air. We were thinking about Harlan and Breaker. Not Breaker, Harlan. Excuse me, not Harlan. Harlan and Gacy.
Yeah. Just to touch on that really quick, bummed they released Harlan, but
there's been a shakeup. There's with the WWE, and there's quite a few people that left Impact Wrestling as well. And there was a few people that left AEW too. So there was a bigger shakeup with WWE. That's
more so.
They are the bigger company, And then there's people shake out everywhere,
with WWE, it was more so in regards to NXT. They were all NXT talent. But Harlan, he's great. He'll bounce back. It was Rhea Ripley, which I believe was a very popular choice with the internet, and it happened, which was I
had seen that then floating around that Rhea Ripley was the internet's choice to be the next member or the latest member. I think it works out well.
As soon as I saw her or saw them, I'm like, that's absolutely a woman, just because, like, I know Ciampa was rumored, but like Ciampa's bulky, and I was like, it's just. But then, like, the camera caught a shot of the front of her pants, and you could see the logo on the pant, which kind of gave away the reveal before the official reveal. But like, overall, I think it's a good choice. My pick to join next is still T-Bar, because I do think that he is criminally underrated and underutilized. Dijakovic.
Dijakovic and Punishment. Oh my God.
Oh,
Damian Priest. Had a long history. Especially in Ring of Honor and stuff like that. So being like close friends like that would be, it'd be swell to see that on the camera.
Yeah, and
in Under Edge, who would have thought that, like, say back 2016, like, both these guys are going to be under WWE and Edge is going to be wrestling again. He's going to be in a mentor group with,
I think, honestly, they kind of gave it away a little because they kind of hinted that there'll be more people added to it on Raw.
They did?
Commentary kind of made a mention of it, that like they're like, well, I don't think we've seen the last of like people joining this group, so something like that. I don't remember the exact line, but I do think we'll see more members. I think it'll be a little bit bigger than the Bloodline.
And to touch on their opponents too, it kind of seems like obviously that AJ and Finn have reformed into their the next attempt at the Bullet Club, or the club, the faction, whatever. And I think that you and I had spoke, but we definitely didn't speak about this one on the podcast. I think if they were to add a third man, I think it definitely should be Solo from NXT.
Yeah, I think Solo Sikoa he'd definitely be a good one. And as far as
you got the Bullet Club, you got to have a Samoan guy in there.
Yeah.
I mean, every facet of the club going right now has, strong like Samoan ties. The Hikuleu and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think too that they definitely will end up. They're going to end up with a female member. I thought it might have been Liv Morgan, but given how they kind of didn't have Liv Morgan last night while she got beaten up, I don't think it's going to be Liv, but it's going to be one of the females. My wonder is if perhaps like a call up from NXT. There's some pretty good picks there, so it'll be interesting to see who kind of ends up joining up with them, because I know
maybe even Kairi Sane.
Yeah, I think not Kairi. She left. It'd be
excuse me, Io Shirai.
Io Shirai, yes. It would be either Io Shirai or possibly Sarai. She kind of has been down a little bit. It'll be interesting to see. But this one was good. I
think Edge is on top of his game. I don't think he's ever been better. That's just me. I loved his stuff in the early 2000s too, but I just think every match is better than the last one ever since, like that real long cinematic match with Randy Orton.
Yeah,
it was good, but it just went forever.
Oh my gosh, yeah, at the Quarantine Mania, that was
it was fucking cool though, but
that match was like
went forever.
52 minutes long, maybe.
That was like a literal movie match too.
Yeah,
so
I
see what they were going. Yeah.
It was a lot. After this, we had Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Championship in an I Quit match.
Yeah.
This was great. This made up for the WrestleMania match, which we discussed. It wasn't bad. The Mania match by no means was bad. It was just it didn't feel like a WrestleMania match. This felt more like a WrestleMania match than the WrestleMania match.
It was maybe the addition of the weapons and the no holds barred style.
Yeah, I Quit. But yeah, this was good. Ronda picked up the win, which is cool. I believe Charlotte is going to be written off TV for a bit of a break, which is something we touched on in the past about how Charlotte perhaps needs to take a little break and kind of come back with a refresher like Roman Reigns did.
And they're maybe thinking maybe the same for Roman, but I mean, when you look at those two individuals, Roman and Charlotte, they've been like the top for how long? Yeah. So I can only totally understand taking a couple.
And I think Charlotte just needs something different, just because she's been doing the same thing for a while. And I know there's the whole, if it's not broke, why fix it? But sometimes in wrestling, some things aren't necessarily broke, but they might not be like operating to their full potential. And I feel like Charlotte isn't at her full potential at the moment. And I think there's a lot that can be done with Charlotte to utilize her to that potential. So
take some time to fine tune some things. Absence makes the heart go fonder, and bring her back with some improved, tweaked upon things to her style. Yeah.
There's a quote from Bruce Pritchard, which is like, go and learn a new hold and come back. Like that's kind of, not that Charlotte needs to learn any new holds, but just come back with something, a little different, a little like, a little new, and kind of bump up to that next. Overall, I enjoyed this match. Next long match is one.
The time. This long jeans, just wear long jeans all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The next one, I don't even. Man, this was an odd match to have on the pay-per-view. This should have been the pre-show match. It was Baron Corbin and Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss. This just, I don't know. It wasn't bad. It just happened. It felt like the kind of thing you would see on an episode of SmackDown, and less of a pay-per-view style match. Like,
right.
And it's not that are bad wrestlers. They're not. It's
all,
just,
no.
it's just, I don't know. There's something about this just didn't click. Picked up the win in this, and
maybe just time to see those guys in the ring with someone else other than each other.
God.
Yeah, with
no
Baron
more.
facing someone and Happy facing someone, and maybe just
I think it's
drop the whole Happy thing and go back to Riddick Moss.
I think it's time to with Baron, Happy, whatever. With Corbin, I think it's kind of time to maybe like go back
start growing that hair back, Lone Wolf.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then as for Madcap Moss, I kind of want to see Madcap Moss go up against like somebody like a kind of a different style, like somebody like Ricochet, like kind of pair like a power guy with a high flyer, like kind of
like the Intercontinental title scene, or something like that. Okay,
something
so the face out of that one. So yeah, I mean,
something to give him. Any week now, I would assume after the pay-per-view, we're going to see LA Knight debut with Mace, because it's been happening a lot on the dark matches on SmackDown. So maybe like you do Mace and Madcap, or Mace and, I don't know if Mace is a face or a heel. Like I would assume heel, because LA Knight's a much more.
He was playing kind of. I seen what it was like the week after we talked about that. I started seeing like the dark people clips of taking clips of that dark stuff. It was interesting.
Yeah, I believe WWE officially uploaded the first one to their YouTube channel. Just search like LA Knight SmackDown. Yeah, you could find one using their cameras and their mic.
Oh, nice.
And it's Mace working. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember who he wrestled, but it was a pretty good match, and I'm kind of interested to see where that picks up. But let's jump into the main event, which this match was amazing. It was really so good.
Yes.
The Bloodline, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso versus Randy Orton, Riddle, and Drew McIntyre. What a great match this was.
Yeah, man. I think a lot of the internet had a strong feeling that this was going to be the title unifying match. Like I think people didn't realize. I think it's not going to happen until SummerSlam at least. I mean, you got to have a big show, big show for something with those implications.
Yeah, that's not going to be like right away. I think they're going to keep teasing it and then finally do it.
Yeah, but just to jump into I don't think it's going to happen at Hell in a Cell either.
I don't think so either. I think Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns is going to happen at Hell in the Cell. Just because they kind of teased a little bit in this match of like Orton and Roman. So I think
and then
WWE choreographs things ahead of time if you like pay attention. And I don't know. I mean, it could be way off, but I guess
Friday the RK Bro is going to show up on SmackDown to address the Bloodline. So yeah, I mean that'd be great to see Randy starting to call out Roman at that. Yeah.
But this match was great. The wrestling in it was super solid. It was given time to play out. Roman picked up the win. The Bloodline picked up the win via Roman Reigns spearing and pinning Riddle. I like this match a lot. I honestly, other than Corbin and Riddick, which felt like a kind of filler, I really enjoyed this pay-per-view for like what was a B pay-per-view with no real like heat like from the WWE.
Right.
Like they just kind of put it together. This was enjoyable. I liked it a lot.
Backlash, that's like I figured before we jumped into doing this, I figured we'd cover just two shows, and it just because they kind of like paralleled each other from each company's. That's kind of like not a major pay-per-view, but hey, I mean it was a random pay-per-view event in the second week of May, and hey, for what it was, both shows were phenomenal.
Yeah, this was great. It was a good showing by WWE. I mean, I know people like to bag on WWE, but honestly, since like Mania, even like pre a little bit pre-Mania, but like WWE's been, I've just have been putting on a pretty good product for like the type of product they present. I mean, I really been enjoying Monday Night Raw lately.
Yeah, I mean, I really find very few things with WWE's product overall that I don't enjoy, and they're so like small that it's like I couldn't justify like not watching because of this little thing here, this little thing that I didn't like that wasn't lining up to what I thought was gonna happen or whatever. So, and there's nothing really like major like, oh my god, that sucked. I'm totally not
No.
into the so.
It's a completely
With AEW though, I will say I'm totally not into the whole Sammy Guevara like that. That would be my yeah.
With I don't watch a ton of AEW, but with that stuff, I have seen some of it, and it's I love it.
Not my cup of tea, yeah. I mean, I like Sammy and I like his style of wrestling, and I have no problem with Sammy. It's just to me, it's they kind of pushed. I think even I just seen an interview with Tony Khan. He was saying the same thing. They kind of pushed. They thought the internet was, they were sweet on Ty and Sammy, and that they would like to see that on screen, but it didn't pan out. But it was weird because you had Ty Conti and Anna Jay in a promotion for like months and months and months and months and months, especially on AEW Dark and Dark Elevation. Like they're the tag team. They're if they were to have a women's tag team division like that, that's the pillars right there. Ty Conti and Anna Jay, and it's like, well, what's going on now? Now all of a sudden there's a shift.
Yeah,
and, and Ty Conti's with oh my gosh, the woman from Top Team, I forget her.
Oh, is it my gosh, Paige Van Zant? Is that who that is?
Yep, exactly.
The UFC fighter. Yeah,
which isn't bad, but I mean,
yeah. I think I think AEW overall they do a good product too, but I also think that sometimes people don't want to admit that they also have some misses, and this is definitely,
I would say that 100%.
Yeah, this is a miss, and that's okay because honestly, when you have like a show, and the same goes for WWE, and you have like 4 or 5 hits in a row, you're always going to have misses. Not everything is going to be like perfect. There is no such thing as like a perfect wrestling show from start to finish. There's always going to be something that's going to be like, ugh. And if you think your show is perfect, then you're delusional, because even the ones I love, I can tell you, I can name things that are like, not great.
Absolutely. But kind of like reminds you of the fanboy chart that usually goes around the internet. It was made popular on like 4chan or whatever, the really sketchy hand-drawn faces. It's like, WWE super fans, hey, your product shit. What? No, it's not. And then you tell that to AEW fans, what? No, it's not. And then it's like Impact Wrestling fans, your product shit. Yeah, we know. But it's better. It's a lot better than what it was like way back. Like,
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
My favorite show is NXT 2.0, and people just love to like beat up on that show, sometimes for no reason whatsoever other than it's NXT.
My only problem with that a lot of the times is the fans are like, what is going on here?
But they're heading back to Full Sail, so that should help.
Awesome. I always love that arena.
Yeah, that's a nice arena. It'll give them back that kind of feel they have from that building, and wrestling's good. Like I always say, watch what you love and don't hate much. That's it. But
if you don't like it, just not take a break on it. Watch one of the many other options out there.
If you can't find something to watch on TV at this current moment, especially in a world where like YouTube exists, then you're not trying. Like, come on,
absolutely, man.
There's a million
Japan
options.
Wrestling strong. Like I'd love to cover that. We just don't have the minutes in the week and the time of the day to add. It's only like 3 matches a week, but I couldn't do that to you, man. Just throw that other show on. I'd like to probably cover Ring of Honor once they figure that out, because I was covering that before we had gotten together.
Yeah.
But other than that, I wouldn't add any more shows.
No, I think right now
it's massive. Everything going on.
We've got, AEW, Impact, the 3 NXT shows, and then we kind of just do a general WWE news and a general indie news. And I think, it's a good flow. Speaking of indie news, let's just get right into it. May 14th, which
is Saturday. As of recording this, we're on Tuesday evening. So as of recording this, was a Saturday coming up here at the Steamtown Mall.
Yes, the marketplace at Steam in Scranton, Pennsylvania. It is the High Tension Wrestling. Look out! Almost stepped on my dog. High Tension Wrestling Electric City Showdown. I'm obviously part of the show. I'm super excited. Kit Raff will be part of the show. Great main event. JTG versus Killian McMurphy. That's going to be. Oh my
god, dude! And there was a promo just released for that Killian put out. So you can check out. The High Tension social medias have posted that, and I do believe Killian has that up. And
I think I'm going to be watching that match very closely. And then
as you should probably, because Kit Raff versus the winner of that. I mean,
and I'm gonna get my hands on Big Dust. It's gonna happen. He's getting these hands.
I'm sure Alex will hear this before. Excuse me, if you can muster through the dogs here, I do have a message for you, Alex. Hey, maybe this Powerball Rumble here, I don't know.
Wouldn't it be crazy if, Kit and I were in that? You never know. But the Powerball Rumble, that's going to be exciting.
There's been some names announced for that. CC Boost, I think, was the latest one I seen. There's quite a few individuals. JS Hawthorne's in there. I mean, there's quite a few.
Aaron Roxas, Squid Sterling from mine.
Yep, absolutely, Squid.
Yeah, Backbreakers. My Backbreakers people. Dina Steele, Mike Mitchell, Johnny Moran are all great local people and Backbreakers people. The Mastodon, Brad DeMayo, Eric Pinhat. Oh my God, Nunzio, H.C. Loke, Angelina Love. What a stacked roster. You can head to HTW's High Tension Wrestling social media pages to kind of get more information, including tickets.
I'll have everything in the description of the cast, for sure.
But this is going to be a great show, and when we reconvene next week, we'll kind of recap it, and maybe I'll give a couple behind the scenes tidbits for those listeners.
Mostly make that an Electric City Showdown special, unless something major happens, between now and then between the companies. I do believe that our next show is going to be heavily focused on Electric City Showdown.
Yes, that's going to be. I'm going to talk a lot about that, and I'm sure I'll have a ton of stories to tell. And again, I'm going to be there, and nobody knows what Kit and I are going to do. So if that's not incentive for you to watch this show,
I don't know what it is, man. Because
I don't know what is, but you're going to want to see what we're.
Unhinged Kit and Coach is a recipe for
in our hometown, something to prove.
Absolutely.
So. But definitely check that out. You can follow me on all the social medias, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the Sean Calvin, and you should also follow Backbreakers Entertainment on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And that's all I got to plug. So
right, and for me, I'll just say go ahead and follow, Wicked Turtle. Wicked Turtle Productions and Wicked Turtle Network on Facebook. There's a Facebook group, Wicked Turtle, the Nation, Wicked Turtle Nation Facebook group. I'm sorry, the dogs have been, they've been going. But the Wicked Turtle Facebook group. Follow us on Twitter. We're on there on the Twitter machines, retweeting machines, and Instagram as well. Not too much on there. We haven't. We've been pretty stagnant right now. With other than we got some busy stuff going on with each of us. So.
But yeah. I think we'll wrap it up on there. So
so we don't hear no more dogs.
Yeah, I can get a shower and the dogs can finally relax because it's Tuesday night and it's a good night for relaxing. And gonna go watch NXT 2.0 so I can maybe talk a little bit about that if something big happens. So.
The dogs are wanting to watch some NXT too, I think. So
yes. But so
we'll catch you guys next week. Like I said, we'll talk some High Tension Network. We'll go over the card, and we'll have fun. So I appreciate you guys watching. Yep, sorry about that, Coach. Go ahead.
I was going to say listening. But yeah, no, May 14th, High Tension Wrestling Marketplace at Steamtown in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Yeah. I don't know, just had to get that in really quick. Man.
Absolutely. If you can't be there in person, just watch it on IWTV. That's what I'm more than likely the Duke will be doing. So
yes, check it out on IWTV, IWTV.com. Sign up and check that out along with a bunch of other cool stuff. You owe me a nickel for that, Jerry.
Alrighty. So anyways, I've been the Duke. Joined by Coach Calvin.
Yes, Coach Raff. And I will talk to all of you next time.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. See ya.